Okay, so welcome everybody. It has today the teaching about the Mahamudra, especially the 4 yogic stage of the Mahamudra, a short introduction. It was before planned to our center 2 days, 2 afternoons teaching. But many people want to listen that, so it is sometimes not easy for me. Same time to use the 2 language to switch each language, German and English. So that's why we have talked yesterday into only German. So today we planned in English. And then my Zoom is limited with only 100 people. So it's always used Christie's Zoom, which is also Bodhicitta. so that's why it has the most space, the Mahayana Zoom. So that's why my own is the Theravada Zoom. So that's why, so everybody can come to listen. So the first, we need to know why it's come like that. That's why I tell this one.
首先呢，跟大家问好。主要呢，我们今天要做的是这个，因为呢，一般我要讲大手印四瑜伽呢，是要2天的时间。那如果特别是我们要用2种语言，英文跟德文来讲的话，要花更久的时间，所以就临时改成 Christy 的这个 Zoom。他的 Zoom， 因为我的 Zoom 只有100个人，他的 Zoom 有1000个人，所以呢，就有这样子的临时的更动。之后呢，另外一点要跟各位分享，就是我的 Zoom 只有100个人是比较小，好像是一个这个别解脱圣的行者的心比较小，但 Christy 的他的Zoom 也叫菩提心，所以是比较大，1000人就是那个大圣的发心，所以有这样子的因缘。
nhiều người có thể tham gia hơn. Đó thì thầy nói sơ qua lý do vì sao mà thầy có cái buổi dạy ngày hôm nay bằng tiếng Anh.
So now the Mahamudra is our Jigong Gaiju tradition. In general of the Gaiju tradition, one of the last teaching and meditation, which to realize the emptiness in the Chachimba's tradition. It's called the Mahamudra lineage or Mahamudra tradition. People used to call Chachimba the Mahamudra practitioners. And there is the other one is the Madhyamaka, the Uma, the middle part of the practitioners, which they practice of the emptiness, trying to realize the emptiness, which means the selflessness and egolessness of phenomena and person. And this is called the Madhyamaka, Nagarjuna's view of Nagarjuna. The other one is the view of Tilopa, what we practice now, which called the Mahamudra. And then there is the Sutrayana again system, which is the Prajaparamita. Prajana Paramita is again the union of the emptiness and interdependentness. So these 3 main themes of the 2, how to realize the final goal or the final realization. So either we need to be the Charchen Mahamudra practitioner, or we should be the Madhyamaka, which is the practitioner of the emptiness, the path of the middle way path. Or we need to be the practitioner of the Prajaparamita, such as like Heart Sutra and those the Jog practitioners. So these 3 is the main theme or the main like way to how to approach and to realize the final emptiness, the word you hear, selflessness, egolessness, or the dharma, the wisdom of the egolessness and selflessness, so non-existence. So how to can realize, we need to use these three methods, either Mahamudra system or emptiness, the the Madhyamaka or Prachaparamita. So that's why we need to know that a little bit about how to approach this to realize the fully enlightenment or emptiness.
我们今天要跟各位讲的是大手印的部分。那我们知道，在佛陀的法教呢，让我们能够就近证悟的有途径，一般来讲有3个。那大手印呢是噶举派的主要修法呢，也是由帝洛巴尊者传下来的。那同时呢，也有一个由龙树菩萨传下来的中观的学说，以及他的修行的方法。那中观主要就是在修空性跟无我的部分。那第3个部分就是般若法门的，这个是讲因缘法的。所以呢，我们要透过不管是大手印、中观、大中观，或者是因缘法呢，能够修持到一种无我平等的一个状态。我们要得到证悟的话，一般来讲是取这3种其中的一种的方法来修持。
của Paramita, tức là cái con đường mà chứng ngộ qua cái pháp tu theo cái gì đó tâm Heart Sutra, quên mất tiêu cái Heart Sutra.
那么般若部呢也
và cái 12 nhân duyên. Thì đây là 3 cái phương cách này là 3 cái phương cách mà chúng ta có thể chứng ngộ được cái tánh không, cái vô ngã và cái của mọi sự việc và cái sự tánh không của nhận ra được cái không tánh của mọi sự vật, cũng như là cái con đường vô ngã. Dạ, đó là trong cái để mà chứng ngộ được cái tánh không này thì có 3 cái phương cách như vậy, 3 con đường như vậy.
So then first we need to knowing that. So now today our practice or our teaching, what we want to hear is the Mahamudra tradition or Mahamudra Chakchenpa. So we want to become the Mahamudra practitioner. So we want to realize the Mahamudra which we have heard many times, right? So in order to do that practice, you all remember that right from the beginning, when Tilopa gave the first transmission to the Naropa Mahamudra, Ganga Mahamudra. So in that very beginning, he said, what we need to be the students or practitioners to practice of the Mahamudra, that he has taught that 4 conditions actually need to be there. So remember, he said, so the first word he said is when you need to Mahamudra practitioners, you are willing to work very hard. You're willing to put your effort in order to achieve that Mahamudra. Kawachepa means, so that's why the Milarepa also, the one we pray, the Kawachepa water, why we are so amazed, Milarepa, because he put lots of hardship in order to achieve such samadhi, such concentration. So the first condition is everybody willing to put some effort, some kind of like a hardship in order to realize to practice of the Mahamudra. That is the first. That which means that we have to have this motivation. No matter what happens, I'm going to do it. How long it takes and how hard it is and how difficult to understand the realization, to realize it, what I'm going to do. So from your heart, have decided to do that practice. Mahamudra, I need to achieve this lifetime. I don't want to wait next life after, and even next year, something like that. I want to do in this lifetime, this year, this day, this week, this month, this day. So that's why the Tilopa taught Kawachepa means that who has the how to say that motivated to work hard and put your ascetic life to do it. So that's why the first need to be this motivation. That no matter what happens, I'm going to realize the Mahamudra. I want to practice that.
首先呢，我们要知道在修持大手印呢，加加巴的也就是加加下加千波就是大手印，那加加巴呢就是手印这个行者呢，我们要有符合几个条件，在恒河大手印里面一开始就把这个讲得很清楚的，有4个条件。第一个条件叫做非常的努力精进，这就是为什么我们一般人的很尊崇弥勒日巴，因为他是非常的伟大的，他就是努力一生努力的修持而获得成就。所以呢，我们第一个条件在努力这个方面呢，我们要发心，要有这个动机，无论我们遭遇到什么样的困难挫折，我们会努力的来修行，那获得今生的成就。那包括在今生一定要有成就，或今年一定要有成就，今月要有成就，或今天要有成就，我们要立下这样子的一个发心，有这样的发心动机，这个就是蒂洛巴传给那洛巴的这个恒河大手印里面的一开始的先决条件，就是我们要努力的修持。
rằng là chúng ta phải thành tựu được cái đại thủ ấn trong cái năm này, trong cái tháng này, trong cái tuần này, trong cái ngày này. Với một cái quyết tâm như thế, chúng ta đi vào cái thực hành cái pháp này, bất kể là khó khăn cách mấy, chúng ta cũng có một cái quyết tâm mạnh mẽ và có cái ý nguyện mạnh mẽ như vậy, thì đó là cái điều kiện thứ nhất mà cần thiết mà chúng ta cần phải có để bước vào cái con đường tu đại thủ ấn, để đạt được cái đại thủ ấn.
And the second thing is the Lama devotion. We need to have the devotion to our Lama, to prayer, and to having the depth from the heart, trust in your lineage, in your master. Otherwise, there was no way to realize the Mahamudra. You can hear many nice teachings and many explanations, which is very fantastic to hear, but the realization comes through the blessing of the Lama. So we need to have the second one is the condition, is that having the devotion and trust to the Lama and the lineage. So that's why Tilopa said, Kawachepe, Lama Lakua means the first is the who want to work hard, who want to really willing to do that. Second thing is having the devotion to the Lama. So Naropa has immense trust. Tilopa, whatever he did, he followed that. Marpa did such things also follow Milarepa. Because of that, they the Mahamudra. So if we want to realize the Mahamudra this lifetime, it's not only that how long you practice, how many times you get teachings, we need to have the Lama devotion, clear lineage, clear master. It's one of the most important of the Mahamudra practitioners. So that is our weak point. So we have lots of teachers, we continue, we change the masters, lamas, and sometimes we are not clear. So we need to have somehow found that follow and one masters us see as much as possible the pure perception and then having the trust. So here, Tilopa's second word, he said, is Kawachip. Lama Lakua means Lama means the teacher, Kua means who has the trust, who has the devotion to the Lama. So that we need. So if you want to become Mahamudra practitioner, second thing is that we need to be clear, the clear, authentic lineage, authentic master. That is my master. I follow she or he, whatever she or he say. I will do whatever she or he say. Because I want to become Mahamudra realizer, Mahamudra practitioner. Understand? So that is very important because that is the missing. That is the weak point of the now our practitioners. Our trust and devotion is not enough. Because we have lots of possibility too nowadays. So that's why Tilopa taught Naropa, you have to have you had the trust, you had the devotion. Remember, Galton means he taught you are the fortune one. You are the who has accumulated merits in purifying the obscurations, because Tilopa said, until now, I didn't give you the real Mahamudra 12 years after, remember? So he followed the 12 years. So then that's why he said, now I see you really trust me, whatever Tilopa did for Naropa, just follow that. So that's same way, not need to do like that, but you need to have the trust in devotion. Lama devotion is the second condition.
Thì cái điều kiện thứ hai để mà chúng ta có thể trở thành một cái hàng giả đại thủ ấn, đó là chúng ta có một cái niềm
大手印要学习大手印的第二个标准，就是我们要有对上师有无比的前进心。那因为呢，如果说没有前进心的话，就不能够承办。我们要从自己的内心深处虔诚的升起恭敬心、前进心，要不然就不可能获得大手印的证悟。那当时呢，那就是那多巴对蒂洛巴有无比的前进心之后，他才能够领受大手印的法教而获得证悟。同样的，马尔巴对那多巴也是有无比前进心，弥勒日巴对马尔巴也是有无比的前进心，这样一代一代对上师有无比的前进心，而得到大手印的教授而获得证悟。如果我们想要今生能够得到成就的话，不论你修得多久或者学得多久，这都不是必要的条件。但是呢，我们要有对上师有无比的前进心、亲近心，然后有亲近的传承、亲近的上师，这样求持大手印才可能获得证悟。那一般人的现代人的弱点就是我们这个对上师没有具足的信心跟前进心。我们去听了很多上师的法教，然后一个接着一个跑来跑去。那我们必须要知道呢，对于传统大手印的修持要获得成就的话，我要有这样子专一的前进心，并且对上师要有静观，所以要前进上师，要有无比的信心，遵从上师所言所教，而才能够说是一个大手印的行者。那现在一般人的弱点呢，就是信心不具，然后前进心不足，所以我们要知道，我们一般来讲要尽罪集之，所以对上师的前进心也是要这样子。当年呢，那洛巴去拜访蒂洛巴的时候，他追随了他12年，经过12大难、12小难，但是都没有学到那个大手印。最后呢，蒂洛巴跟那洛巴讲说：“你跟了我这么多年，我现在相信你对我是有具足的信心的。”因此呢，他就给了他这个大手印。那这个大手印应该是恒河大手印吧？刚刚已经传给各位了。
từ cái sự nhận được cái dòng, từ cái ân phước, từ cái lực gia trì từ cái dòng truyền thừa và từ vị thầy đến cho mình, thành ra là mình mới đạt được cái sự giác ngộ. Thường thì người ta hay xài cái từ là con là một người mà vô cùng may mắn. Tại sao mà may mắn? Bởi vì là mình đã có được cái ân phước, cái lực gia trì tích tụ đầy đủ công đức thì mình mới gặp được một cái vị thầy. Ngày hôm nay thì nói chung lại là tất cả những cái vị thầy mà nhận được pháp từ những họ, giống như là ngài Tilopa, ngài Naropa nhận được từ ngài Tilopa, ngài Mapa nhận được từ ngài Naropa, rồi ngài Malarapa nhận được từ ngài Mapa. Tất cả những cái vị đó mà thành tựu được trong một đời kiếp đó bởi vì các ngài có một cái lòng sùng tín rất rõ rệt và một cái lòng tin tưởng vào dòng truyền thừa, vào cái vị thầy của mình hoàn toàn. Đó là cái điểm chính yếu mà chúng ta cần phải có, và để mà chúng ta, đó là điều kiện thứ hai để chúng ta có thể trở thành một cái hành giả của đại thủ ấn.
Very good. So, and then say this is the first, you see, who having that motivation, who want to work hard and do everything as stated in the teaching of Mahamudra. Second, the Lama devotion. The third one is we need to have the patience in order to practice that. So people wish to realize today, and people want to do now, right? So dungal sonden sherap tang denpa. So he said the third one is that you able to bear to what kind of problems, difficulties comes. It can be sometimes confused. Sometimes you waiting so long time and you still not realize the Mahamudra. You do lots of practice, different the preparation practice and yidam practice, you know, all these things. The life goes on. We getting older and older. We still not yet realize the Mahamudra, no single point, maybe not. So that's why saying here, we need to be having the passion because it will happen you. Don't worry. So it means it will happen you if you have the trust in your Lama, truth your Lama, and devotion, and you are able to having that motivation, never give up, it will happen with you. So Dunga Sonden means Dunga means the suffering or difficulties. Sonden means who has the passion and able to bear that. So we need to have that, be patient. In order to practice of the Mahamudra. Don't need to be too hurry up. Understand? You don't need to give up. Never give up. Mahamudra is my goal. That right from the beginning, I took the refuge from the Lama, whatever whom you took the refuge. From there, I start. My goal is to realize the Mahamudra. That's it. No need to become Yamantaka. No need to become Vachakalaya. No need to become Vachakasambara, nothing else these guys need to become. You need to have realized your mind. You need to have transformed your mind. That is the final goal. That is the only thing that we can do. And that's why here said, Tungal Tangden, Tungal Sonden. So you can take every single hardships, the difficulties come, you will bear it, you can able to face it. So having the passion is so important. This is the third one. The fourth one here said, so Tungal Tangden, share up Tangden means you need to be intelligent. So you are not stupid, understand? You have to have the intelligent, you need to sharpen your mind. So because of that, so in order to do the Mahamudra practitioner, you already have heard the three wisdoms you already are collected. The wisdom of the hearing, the wisdom of understanding, the wisdom of the meditation, you are already having it. So that's why it's called the Tungal Sonden. Sherap Tangdenpa means who has the wisdom, who has the intelligence in order to understand this complex of our mind. The mind is very complex. Our mind is rather complicated. And so in order to understand that, the Dharma is not complicated, Tilopa said. The all sutra, often the philosophy, the 84,000 Buddha has taught, nothing is complicated, not complex. But what is really complicated, really complex is our mind. It makes everything difficult. So that's why you need to be the sharp-minded, intelligent, and able to understand that. So this third one is wisdom and intelligent, sometimes they use. So it's the primordial wisdom or wisdom you need there. So these four conditions, if we have, we can do the Mahamudra. So the early time, if that four conditions not ready, you have to wait until ready for that. So that's why these four conditions are Mahamudra practitioners. Please think about that carefully. Everybody today here, Chinese, Vietnamese, and Europeans, whatever who here, you all have lots of lamas. I know you all are learned. Some of you are being Buddhist more than a year than me, maybe, but that doesn't mean something special. Special thing is you need to know how to do that. So these four categories, four conditions in order to become a Mahamudra practitioner. So count that, are you that person or not? If you are able to do that or not, it's so important. Otherwise, the four yoga stage of Mahamudra cannot be there so easily. So that's why, think about that. So that was Tilopa's word, right? You remember? So he said that. So beginning kawachebe lama lakube dunga sonde sharap dang demba. So that is very important. So this you think about in your mind.
那我们要了解到这个要修大手印有几个条件，那刚刚讲过了，我们这个发心动机是要很清楚的，我们要努力精进，我们要能够发起，就是我们以今生一定要证得大手印。那第二个条件就是对上师的信心跟前进心，第三个就是要安忍，要克服种种的困难包括了许多的修行要前行也好，本尊法也好。这一生就很快的过去，我们如此修行却没有什么结果，一天一天变老，所以我们有的时候就容易失去信心。那如果说我们要真正对于这个大手印有这个信心，对上师有信心的话，那我们自然就能够努力不懈，而能够得到成就。所以我们要做的第三个条件就是要安忍，那知道说这个修持不是很快的，那也不必放弃我们现在生活上的一些，但是我们需要知道说，确定大手印修持大手印是我们的目的，我们也不必要变成不同的本尊，不管是文殊阎摩尼也好，普巴金刚也好，胜乐金刚也好，我们要确定我们自己这一生最终的目的就是要成就大手印。那在这个种种难过我们的闻思修，然后来修持。所以第四个条件就是要我们有清明的觉知这个智力、智慧、本初智等等。透过我们这个闻思修来长养我们自己的智慧，那保持自己回归跟保持自己清明的心，我们了知佛法。那佛法其实本身不是那么复杂的，那只是我们自己的众生目前有许多的妄念心。如果说大手印的这个4个条件，我们每一个人都是需要具足的。如果凡是你想要修持大手印的话，那你必须要有这4个条件。不管你是中国人也好，越南人也好，我相信你们在场的很多华人跟越南有很多的上师，甚至很多人的修持比我来更久。但是最重要的就这4个条件，就是第681一开始在恒河大手印里面有讲到的。第一个条件是努力精进，第二个条件是对上师的前进心跟信心，第3个条件是安忍，那第4个条件是我们的清明的智慧。
Và để mà tất cả những cái trí tuệ này chúng ta cần phải có để hiểu về cái sự phức tạp của cái pháp đại thủ ấn, thì để mà chúng ta có thể chứng ngộ được cái đại thủ ấn, cái pháp của Phật đó thì có 84.000 pháp tu. Thật ra thì các cái pháp của tất cả các pháp của Phật đó, nó không có, tất cả cái pháp của Phật đó thì nó không có phức tạp đâu, nó không có phức tạp đâu, nhưng mà cái phức tạp ở đây là cái tâm của con người ta. Cái phức tạp ở đây là cái tâm của người ta, đó là cái điều mà thành ra là chúng ta cần phải có một cái thông minh, một cái đầu óc sắc bén, nhạy bén để mà hiểu cái pháp này, để thực hành cái pháp này một cách đúng đắn. Đó là 4 cái điều kiện mà thầy lặp lại. Đó là thứ nhất là chúng ta phải có một cái quyết tâm làm việc chăm chỉ trên cái pháp này. Cái thứ hai là cái lòng sùng tín đối với vị thầy và dòng truyền thừa. Cái thứ ba là cái lòng kiên nhẫn, và cái thứ tư nữa là cái nhạy bén sắc sảo của cái tâm. Thì đây là 4 cái điều kiện mà chúng ta cần phải suy nghĩ là chúng ta có hội đủ 4 cái điều kiện này để thực hành cái pháp đại thủ ấn hay không. Thời bây giờ đó thì chúng ta thầy biết là trong cái số người ở đây là người Việt cũng như là người Hoa, là có rất nhiều, chúng ta có rất là nhiều vị thầy và có thể nói rằng là đã tu theo Phật pháp rất nhiều năm, và có thể nhiều năm hơn là chính bản thân của thầy nữa, nhưng mà cũng không có đạt được cái sự đại thủ ấn, bởi vì chúng ta không hội đủ 4 cái điều kiện này. Đây là 4 cái điều kiện mà chúng ta cần phải suy nghĩ về để coi rằng là mình là người có phải là một cái hội đủ 4 điều kiện để tu hành, để làm một cái hành giả của đại thủ ấn và có thể đạt được cái chứng ngộ được cái đại thủ ấn hay không. Chúng ta cần phải suy nghĩ về cái điều này.
So then today we want to talk the 4 yogic stage of the Mahamudra. So that means that you having already already having the kind of that the teachings that you had, the first part of the Mahamudra teaching, we need to know our mind has the need to be like kind of 3 categories of the mind. It's called the first, the Mahamudra practitioners, the mind need to be always the fresh awareness. The freshness awareness, which means the Tibet called Soma or Tamal, which means ordinary mind, but in the same time, it need to be freshness and awareness, understand? So the fresh awareness means the past you don't recall, which is the Tilopa's, the first teaching. Remember the 6th teaching, the 6 yoga or 6 dharmas of the Tilopa, that he said the first thing is don't recall at all. If you're recalling the past, you will not realize you are not a Mahamudra practitioner, he said. You pretend to be my Mahamudra practitioner, but you do recalling the past. So that's why Tibetan word called Soma, which in translated to English can be the freshness or awareness mind. Need to recognize that, which means that you do not recall the mind which is past, where you do not think about that. So this is the very, very important. So we have to understand this kind of the mind. Second thing is the same time that Soma means you do not think the future, you don't plan, do not image, do not imagine the what should be. It will be, it will need to be, it will come, but it have to come. So if you are Mahamudra really practitioner, don't imagine, don't planning. That means the past, the futures. So when you do not do that too, do not imagine, do not recall, that mind is called in Tibet called Soma, Tamal. So Milarepa said that is the Mahamudra mind. Actually, Mahamudra is already there. Every single moment you are in Mahamudra, if you could do that. So that means if you can understand that, that means you're not recalling the past, you're not imagining the future. So that moment mind is called the freshness, the freshness mind or awareness mind, Soma. Sometimes you can translate it, this mind, very easy way is called the ordinary mind. That is the ordinary mind. If we do not make ordinary, you're recalling the past, you imagine the future, then the mind is not ordinary mind. So that's why Tama Shiva Chongjoni Mariktua Chetachal Milarepa said, I have forgotten the confusion and ignorance mind. I have forgotten that because I stay every single moment, the freshness of mind, awareness of the mind. Understand? So that's very important. So that we don't need to have first category, the practitioner of the Mahamudra. Try sometimes that, really try. Do not imagine, do not recall. Just trying to see that. Even 1 millisecond, it makes your huge change. So that's called Tibet Soma. That is the first category of our mind. The first definition or category of our mind, understand? So we need to know that it's the Mahamudra practitioners having that kind of mind. So everybody, that will make lots. So you are really free from all this worry, suffer, kind of like doubts, expectations, everything, because you recall the mind first and you imagine what will happen. I will be rich, or I will be that, I will be yogi, I will be yogini. Don't need to think, you are. So Tilopa said, you are. So that is the very freshness, Soma, mind or awareness in this moment. So the first or the second dharma from Tilopa is called soma, right? First, he called don't recall. Second, he said don't imagine. And that is called the ordinary mind. Sometimes you can translate the ordinary mind, tamal, or you can translate it the freshness mind or awareness mind. So first, we need to know that. If you're knowing that, feel that sometimes you are always in the Mahamudra. Really don't need to name, don't need to think something special. So that's very difficult because we think too much. We plan too much. We're giving teaching now and we are already planning something else. So that's why this is the first one, trying to note that it's called the freshness mind, awareness mind, or you can translate easy way. Milarepa used to call Tamal Sheva. Tamal Sheva means the ordinary mind. Very simple mind. Very simple, right? Very easy. Not complicated at all. So that is called the Soma Tibet. So trying to think about that.
接下来我们要进入今天要讲的主题了，就是大手印四瑜伽的阶段。那我们讲到说，我们一般人的心呢有3类。那这个第6则主要要交代我们的是，我们不要有 soma， 不要有 pemo。soma 指的是什么？追忆过去的心。pemo 指的是什么？就是想象未来的心。那也套句我们中国人的讲法，就是过去心不可得，未来心不可得。所以呢，我们的心要修持大手印的话，我们必须要维持一个清明的觉知的一种过去心不可得，未来心不可得的这种平常心，要安住在这种清明觉知的状态之下，不去追忆过去，也不去想象未来。那在第6的6瑜伽里面，一开始也是这样讲，就是过去心不可得的。如果说我们去心只是安住在过去的话，追忆过去的话，我们外表看起来像是一个大手印的行者，但是我们就不是，实质上就不是一个大手印的行者了。所以我们不要去追忆过去，我们也不要去想象未来，我们要安住在当下。这种安住在当下的平常心就是大手印。所以呢，我们要做的是保持一个鲜明清明的心，那么我们以及这种明觉的心，这种平常心，否则的话，我们就不能修持大手印了。那弥勒日巴过去的他也讲的一些也讲的很有名的话，也就是说，我不去追忆过去这个非常迷惘的这个心，因为我时时刻刻的安住在当下的平常心，这个就是我们要做的。我们要知道，过去心是不可得，未来心也不可得的。请各位好好的来试试看，即使一刹那很短暂的时间，这个短短的体验，这也是很好的。所以呢，我们要放下我们的忧愁，放下我们的怀疑，放下我们的期待，放下种种的受苦的感受，那去安住在我们当下的平常心。那这样子的话，也不用去怀疑说我是不是一个修行人，是不是一个瑜伽士、瑜伽女呢？不用担心的，你已经是一个修行人了。所以如果我们用这种条件呢，不要去追忆过去，也不要去想象未来，安住在当下的这一刻的平常心，就是一个修持大手印一个很重要的一个前提条件了。
thì được gọi là cái tâm tỉnh thức và mới mẻ, tinh khôi, mới mẻ, mà ngài Milarepa gọi nó là cái bình thường tâm. Một khi mà chúng ta cái tâm của ta nó nghĩ về quá khứ hoặc là nghĩ về tương lai thì tức thì chúng ta không còn là ở trong cái bình thường tâm nữa. Chúng ta không có, thành ra rằng là đây là cái loại tâm thứ nhất mà chúng ta cần phải hiểu. Thầy nhắc đi nhắc lại là cái từ soma có nghĩa rằng là bình thường tâm, cũng có nghĩa rằng là cái tâm ở bây giờ và ở đây không có gợi nghĩ về quá khứ, không tương lai. Thì nếu mà chúng ta đạt được như vậy thì coi như là chúng ta đang ở trong cái trạng thái của đại thủ ấn, và tức thì là tất cả những cái nỗi lo lắng, những cái khổ đau, những cái nghi ngờ, những cái mong chờ, những cái mong đợi nó sẽ biến mất, bởi vì tâm của ta đang là ở cái trạng thái bây giờ và ở đây, mà tiếng Tạng nó gọi là soma. Thì phải nhớ là không gợi nhớ quá khứ, không nghĩ đến tương lai, tức thì chúng ta đã ở trong đại thủ ấn rồi. Và đây là một cái điều kiện mà chúng ta cần phải có ở trong cái trạng thái bình từ tâm. Đây là cái điểm mà chúng ta cần phải nghĩ về cái điều này, ok, để trở thành một cái hành giả của đại thủ ấn.
So this word, Tibetan word, I said soma, right? You write down. One day you guys need that. It's very important to hear that soma, understand? It's ordinary mind, it's a freshness mind, it's just now, so it's awareness mind can translate it, but soma, one day you will realize that it's a very nice word. Soma means new, actually, it means new. It's like just freshness mind, so just now. And then second one, it's called the innate mind. So innate mind means, but that very mind is not just born now. It's the beginningless, isn't it? So Tibet called Nyungma. That even is so freshness mind, awareness, you don't recall, you don't imagine. The third word, Tilopa said, don't think. Understand? That's very nice. So he said, don't recall, don't imagine, but third one said, don't think. Don't think means, don't think this new mind. It is not new. It is the beginningless of the mind, isn't it? It's called Nyungma, Tibet. Write down Tibetan word, Nyungma. Soma Nyungma, this very nice word. Nyungma means very difficult to translate, but it's the most of translate in it. So innate. So innate means within that. So it is within. What means within? Past, future, everything is include that mind, because it's beginningless mind, endless mind, isn't it? So mind have no beginning. So mind have no end. So that's why it's called the innate mind. So you can see that innate natural mind, you can translate. So it's Nyungma, Tibet called. So Soma and Nyungma. That we need to understand that when I realize that mind is not something new, right? It has right from the beginning with me, only that you have not recognized. So that's why sometimes try to do that. So stay as a fresh mind. So the second thing is don't think. If you're able to do that. So I'm telling to you how to Mahamudra real practitioners, okay? Not just trying to say, say with the Om, Ahum, watch your breathe, not like that. Now, you try really go into Mahamudra. So into going Mahamudra, first one was which need to recognize is that your freshness mind and awareness mind, Soma, which means don't recall, don't imagine. Second one is that very mind is not just come now, it's the beginningless, endless. It is the, how to call, primordial of mind, the primordial mind, isn't that? So that's why it's called Nyungma. So when you know that, so then that is the Mahamudra, how to realize the Mahamudra. So the Nyungma, the innate mind is the Mahamudra. Understand? So Milarepa said, when I realized the ignorance, the nature of the ignorance is Mahamudra. So it means that the ignorance is not something that new, because it is the nature of the ignorance is innate, which means Nyungma. So we need to know the second word you write down. One day you need that, really. Very nice word, Soma Nyungma. That's your mind. That's our mind. Understand? So we have to think about that, how to get there, how to realize it. And this is the second one. So there's three categories. I said, this is the second one.
那这个接下来我们继续讲。
Trong cái từ của tiếng Tạng thì chúng ta nghe được cái từ soma, cái từ này
我们要
rất là
做
quan
的
trọng
就
của
是要一个
đó
保
là
持一个
cái
清明的
cái bình thường
心。
cái bình
那我们
thường
不要
trong
去
tâm
追忆
giới
过
này, cái
去，
tâm
也不
tính
要
này,
去
không
想
nghĩ
象
về
未
quá
来。
khứ, không
我
nghĩ
们
về
要
未
保持
来,
的是一
không
个
tưởng
清
tượng
明
cái
的
sự
心， 新鲜的心，这
và
种平常心。
cái loại tâm
那
thức
这
này
种就是无
nó
始以来
là
就
cái
有
sự
的这个本初心。
sẵn
所以
có,
soma 之外， 这个
bản
叫
chất
做
sẵn có.
pneuma， 就
Tại
是
sao
本初心。
ta gọi
所以我们
cái
要
từ
做
này
的
gọi
修
là
持，就
Nyuma?
是不去
Tức
追
là
忆过去， 也
cái
不去
tâm chúng ta
想
thường sẵn có
思考或者
từ
期
vô
待未
thường cho
来，
đến
不
như
去
là
做
chúng
一
ta
切
hằng
平
có
凡
tâm
的
thường
凡夫的这
thường
种
hàng
妄
tâm
念
thường
的这
hàng
种
trong
思维。
sẵn có của
这个
ta
是
từ
第
vô
6巴
thường
所
đến
讲
ngày
的。
hôm nay.
那
Khi mà thứ nhất đó là
这
khi
个
mình
是并不是
không
说
còn nhớ
有
về
一
quá
个
khứ,
新
không
的
suy
这个
nghĩ về
心
tương lai,
产生出
về
来，
ngày
而是
hôm
我们
qua,
无
mà
始以
đây
来
là
本质具
chúng ta
足
không
本
nghĩ
质就 有
tức là
的
chúng
这
ta
个
không
本
nghĩ
初
ngợi gì
心。
cả.
那
Đó
在
là
这
cái
个
tâm
本
nó
初
rất
心
là
的
mới
范围
mẻ.
里面，包括的
Nó
过去
phản ứng
心、
từ
现在
vô
心、
thường,
未来。
nó là
过去、现在、未
nó
来
thể
三世
hiện
都
đến
包
cái
含
tâm
在其
bản
中
nhiên
的。
của chính mình.
那 这
Là
一
cái
个
từ
我们要知道，
cái
心
từ
是无
Nyuma.
始无
Và
终
khi mà
的，
chúng ta
所以
ở
故
trong cái
此
trạng
故
thái
名之为
không
本初
quá khứ,
心。
không có
所以我
quá
们
khứ,
要
không có
修
tương
持大
lai.
手印，第一个要
Thì
是了
từ
住、
cái
了
vô
认，
từ vô
并
thường
且
đến
安
nơi
住
đó
在
là
我
chúng ta
们清明
ở
觉
trong cái
知
trạng
的
thái
状态、
Nyuma.
清明的
Và
心脏
và
当
ở
中。
trong
第二个
cái
条
tâm
件
bản
就是
nhiên
不
đó
要
nó
去
có
思
sẵn
维。
quá
那
khứ,
我们
có
修
sẵn
持大
tương
手
lai.
印，不是表
Nó
面
hiện
的
tại
修
nó
持
bây
嗡啊
giờ
吽这种
ở đây,
调息、
chứ
金
không phải
刚
là một
念
cái
诵
tâm
或
gì
者
mà
呼
chúng
吸
ta
这
cố
种
để
方法，
tạo
而
thành
是让
nó
我
là
们
một
能够
điều
时时
mà
刻刻
chúng
安
ta
住在这种清
hàng
明的
có
心，
thường
这
hàng
个
có
元
từ
神、
vô
原
thường
始
tính này.
本初的这个
Và
心
đó
的这个
là
状态。
chúng ta
那我们要知
chúng ta có
道
thể
pneuma 就是本初
chứng ngộ được
心
cái
即是
cái
大
đại
手
thừa
印。
ấn.
所以后
Thì
来呢，弥勒日巴祖
khi mà
师
chúng
也
ta
讲
ở
的
trong cái
说，
tâm
我
đại
到
thừa
现在
ấn,
才了
chúng
知
ta
无名即
không
是
có
本初
quán
智，
tưởng về
一
ô
切
mai
的
vô
都
vi
是
thì
安住在
cái
当
gì
下
mà
的
vô
时候，
vi
这
gì
个就
cả.
是我们这个心性的
Để
本
bước
质，就
thẳng
是我
vào
们
cái
的
đại
本
thừa
初
ấn,
智，
chúng ta ở
这
trong
就
cái
是
đại
我们的
đại thừa
心。
ấn đó.
所以
Và
呢，
chúng
我
ta
们的
ở trong cái trạng
修
thái
大
mà
手印两
không
个
nghĩ
条
đến
件，
quá
一个
khứ,
就是
không tưởng
就
tượng
是
về
要我
tương
们
lai
安
và
住在一
không
个
nghĩ
新
ngợi
鲜
gì
的
cả.
心，这种平
Là
常
cái
心，
tâm mà
不
chúng
去
ta
思
hằng
念
có
过
từ
去，
vô
不
thường
去
đến nơi
想
đó
象
chính
未
là cái
来。
tâm bản
那么
nhiên
第二个就是安住在这种无始以来
từ xưa này của
本
ta.
质具足的这
Đó
种
thành
本
ra
初
hai cái từ
心。
ngữ soma và nhuma là hai cái từ ngữ mà nó rất là quan trọng để chúng ta ghi nhớ. Thì chúng ta nên viết nó xuống, ráng nhớ nó. Thành ra trong cái chúng ta phải nhận diện ra rằng là cái vô minh của mình, cái bản chất tự nhiên của cái vô minh, nó chính là cái tâm bản nhiên. Cái nguồn, nó xuất nguồn từ cái vô minh, nó xuất nguồn từ cái tâm bản nhiên. Từ cái tâm bản nhiên nó mới sanh ra cái sự vô minh. Đó, thành ra là chúng ta cần phải nhớ rõ hai cái từ soma và cái nhuma này. Hai cái từ này nó hay lắm, nó đẹp đẽ lắm, nó bao gồm hết tất cả những cái ý nghĩa của đại thừa ấn.
Okay, so you guys got it. So this is the according to the Tilopas, the 6 words of the Tilopa, right? The first 2 you remember. Don't recall and don't imagine, right? So that was the first our mind, which calls the soma, Tibetan word soma, which means the freshness mind, awareness mind. Sometimes you even call the ordinary mind. So very, how to say, simple way to explanation for that. And second one, we said, don't think. So do not need to think the same way. It's now, then the mind which you have got it. It's not just now, because it has in it, means that it's beginningless. It's just not come now. It not just come to this moment. It has right from the beginning. So it's called Tibet Nyuma. Try to imagine, try to think about that, how to what it means. That's why it said before start the Mahamudra, you need to have 3 wisdoms. I told you, remember, the wisdom of the hearing you already had, wisdom of the how to call wisdom of the thinking or investigation you had already, the wisdom of the meditation already down. So now into the Mahamudra, so you need to know what it means, that innate mind. And that means the beginningless, endless, is the mind, which is the stream of the mind, the continuation of the mind. Understand? It's the pure. So that is second pneuma. So that is now. Now is don't think, he said. Don't recall, don't image, belong to the first, the soma, and then don't think, which means the pneuma, the innate mind. So this is very important for the Mahamudra practitioner. Otherwise, you think Mahamudra will come with a pet, Mahamudra will come with a, it's okay, teacher teach you that, but you didn't realize. You said 1,000 times pet already, maybe. You said 100 times already, it's still not there. So we need to know the key point, how to do that. So that is the most important, understand? So last one is which is called the, so kind of like unfabricated mind, unfabricated natural mind. Unfabricated natural mind means, so which means that non-created, right? Rangbab, live its nature. So in Tilopa, word 6 of the Tilopa's words, he will say, don't examine. You know, examining, you examining normal, right? So don't examining and don't examine and don't control. There's 2 words coming. Do not control, do not examine. Understand? So just live its nature. It's free. If the problem is we control too much and we examining too much. And then people always say, I want to control my mind. It's wrong. Mahamudra practitioner should not control. If you control your mind, it becomes more complicated. Really. If you're examining your mind, it's become very unfabricated. So it needs to be unfabricated natural mind. It should not be fabricated. Understand? So it is very important. So leave that mind free. So that is called Rangbab. Tibet called Rangbab. So Soma, Nyuma, Rangbab. Do you understand me? The first you wrote Soma, second was Nyuma, third is Rangbab. These 3 categories, my Mahamudra practitioners should think about that. And you write down that and you look into your mind. Do we have that or not? So Tilopa 6 dharmas, Tilopa, now there is already 5 of them already, remember? So first one is don't recall, don't imagine. Second, the third one, he said, don't think, understand? Do not need to think because we think too much. And then the 5th one, he said, do not examine. So we examine too much. And the 5th one, he said, don't control. So do not control, do not examine. So that mind called the Rangbab Tibet, which calls the unfabricated natural mind. Understand? Non-fabricated. So that is very important. That is Mahamudra mind. That is the mind, Mahamudra, Pachaparamita, and that is the emptiness, the shunyata, Sanskrit call, right? It's the non-fabricated, the unfabricated natural state. So you have to know that what it means. So that's the 5th Tilopa, so the 5th words from Tilopa. You see the 4th and 5th. He said, don't examine, do not control. So we control too much. If you're controlling your mind, you will never become the Mahamudra realizer. You become maybe a good practitioner of the Lojong, Shamatha meditation, Vipassana meditation. But you cannot realize the Mahamudra to control. If Mahamudra is unfabricated mind, control is the fabricated mind, understand? So control is you creating, doing something. So Mahamudra, as like Tilopa's word, mino misam, in Tibet called miche mikom, which means to do not recall, do not imagine, do not think, do not examine, do not control. It's very beautiful. So say that sometimes say that yourself, tell you to yourself. If your name is like Marcus or if your name is like Kunsang, do not recall. Why make recalling you too much? last year was this, last time he told me like that, that was nice, and all this recalling. Do not imagine too much. Understand? Don't think even now. Do not imagine, do not recall what's the past, do not imagine what's the future, don't think it's the now. 3 times already gone, right? So that's why the foredom is very important. As I said, do not examine, do not control. It calls the unprovocated natural state of the mind. Really, Rangbap, the Tibet call, understand? Yeah. That is, sorry? Too much?
I'm okay. I'm okay. It's my son. Yeah, don't worry. I'm fine. Let me do this.
I need in for the test number.
Yeah, later today. Go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Theo ngài Tilopa thì ngài đã nói cho chúng ta là cái điểm đầu tiên
那刚刚主奔就继续讲了这个接下来的话，也就是说我们要修大手印，要保持我们的平常心，我们要不思过去，不期望未，不追忆失忆过去，追念过去，不期待未来，不思维安住在当下这种无始以来的本初心。那我相信每个人都已经学过这个3学了，也就是闻思修，你们在这方面可能都已经很好了。那大手印呢，这是一种无始以来的这个心，那它是我们要做的修持，就是持续的安住在这种本初不造作的清明的状态之下，这种心。有的时候你们或许听到这个上师会教你呸或者是来修持大手印，但是你听了之后你也练习，可能也没什么结果。当然这种修持是可以的，但是我们要知道说光照着一样画葫芦是不能够得证的，我们要知道它的原理跟原则。所以呢，我们接下来要做的就是不要造作的本初之心，这个是第68自己所讲的话，不要去检视，不要去控制，是一个非常自由清明的心。那这个问题是恰恰是一般凡夫都想要去控制我们自己的心，那这样子的话会把我们的心搞得太复杂，因为这些想要控制本身就是一个造作之心了。那这个就是我们讲的 round bob， 就是让心能够自由。所以如果说你们有机会的话，也可以把这5点要点把它写下来，常常用这个来检视自己，来问自己是不是有这样的情况。第一个就是不要去追忆过去，第二个是不要去想象或期待未来，第3个是不要做这个思维，这边的思维指的是凡夫的这种妄念的这种思维，二元对立的思维。第4个是不要去检视、检查、检视。第5个呢是不要去控制。这5个是多么的优美的文字啊！这我们要做的是什么？就是一个清明不造作原始本初本有的这个心，这个就是我们梵文所讲的熏鸦的，或者是我们的定。所以我们一般凡夫来讲都有太多的造作，太多的控制，想要控制我们自己的心，那这个是不可能修正的大手印的。你或许可以修持楼种也好呢，你要修止或观，这个都可以，但是不能用这种造作或者是控制的心要正得大手印，因为大手印的本身它是没有任何的这个控制的一个自然的一个清明的本初心。那凡夫恰恰是相反，他到时时刻刻都想要控制。所以如果说能够把这个第68的这个教言能够写下来的话，这样子多么是偶尔提醒自己的。那比如说你自己讲说坤上，如果你的名字是坤上的话，那提醒自己不要去追忆过去，坤上不要去期待未来，坤上不要去做凡夫的思维。第4个坤上不要去检视自己。 第五，坤桑不要去控制。那如果能够这样子的话，我们或许会有所进步，也会有所得。因为我们要知道，我们要证的大手印本身就是要证的一个不造作的本初的这个心，所以这种本初的心是远离造作、远离追忆、远离期望、远离思维、远离检视，也远离控制的这5项原则的。所以这个就是第6、8的原则。再讲一次，不要去追忆过去，不要去期望或者思忆想象未来，不要去做反复的思维，不要做检视，不要去控制。所以这边补充一下，当我们再想想这5个条件，这些都是内心的造作。当我们内心有造作，我们就堕入2元的对立的执着，自然就不是能够回归我们本初非常清明不造作的本初心了。那我们等一下越南翻译，这个越南翻译他讲的比较慢，比较仔细，等一下。
Càng điều khiển tâm bao nhiêu thì mình chẳng có bao giờ khi mình tâm mà mình cố gắng, khi mà mình đã cố gắng điều khiển tâm, tức là mình đang ở một cái tâm mà đang tạo cái tâm của mình, đang cố tạo cái tâm của mình, gò cái tâm của mình nó vào một cái trạng thái nào đó, thì nếu chúng ta ở cái trạng thái đó thì không bao giờ chúng ta đạt được cái đại thủ ấn cả. Thành ra là 6 cái điều này thầy lặp lại là không hồi tưởng, không tưởng tượng, không nghĩ ngợi, không quán xét, không điều khiển tâm, là cái trạng thái mà chúng ta nên ghi xuống và lặp lại, nói cái bạn, ví dụ như mình kêu cái tên mình, ví dụ như mình tên Nga chẳng hạn, thì mình nói Nga, đừng hồi tưởng, đừng tưởng tượng, đừng suy nghĩ, đừng quán xét, đừng điều khiển tâm của mình. Ví dụ mình nên thỉnh thoảng mình lặp lại 6 cái điều, 6 cái này, 6 cái điều này để mà mình có thể tạo cái điều kiện cho cái tâm của mình nó đi vào cái trạng thái của tâm bản nhiên hoặc là đại thủ ấn.
Okay, so then the last dharma, the 6 words of the Tilopa, 6 dharmas of Tilopa, it's called, right? So now you got it. First one is called, it said don't recall, don't imagine, don't think, don't examine, don't control. The 5 of them, understand? So that is the Tilopa's ever give teaching. You see the Ganga Mahamudra or something like this, but this is called the 6 dharmas of Tilopa. It's very important to everybody heard that before. So today we explained with the 3 category with the mind. So in order to become the 4 yogic stage of the Mahamudra, you need to have this one very good understanding if you do not even realize it. So the mind which we talk today here is the first, the freshness or awareness, ordinary mind, soma. Second, we said the pneuma, the mind which is the innate mind, the continuation of the mind, the beginningless of mind we call, right? So the third one is the unfabricated mind, natural state, rangbap. So these 3, without knowing that, the problem is I see that a lot of experience through all the teaching, lots of students I met, they are very much, interested with the teaching practice. We are too much sometimes kind of like external things, focus too much, that we do not focus that much inside, understand? So that's why Milarepa said, too much, even Dharma practice, too much activities out physically and verbally, you lose the innate of the mind. You lose of the non-conceptual level of the mind. Your mind is to make more monkey mind than before. Understand? So, chakya chimbo gombitu meto is lunga kechor matson meto is yanindo Malarapa said, means if you want to become Mahamudra practitioner really now, the times you see now, I think my age in my term, now I should really reduce all these things. It's okay. He said, you can reduce all the physical, too many dharma things even, too many mantra recitation, too many chanting prayers. You can make less, go back to the mind. So he said, the non-conceptual mind is the most important. Understand? Dharma texts you cannot take. Mantra recitation, all this good, but next life don't remember at all. They are gone with someone's brain. So something that we can keep is the nature of mind. So that's why I'm telling you that it's very important to know that. Now, having that, the last one is he said, rest, just to relax, rest in the peace. The third dharma, the sixth dharma, understand? He said very nicely, don't recall, don't imagine, don't think, don't examine, don't control, rest. Your mind rests, then your mind can rest really. Until there is the restless. Mind is restless, understand? There is no rest, there's no relax, too much things. So when all this then your mind can rest in the peace. So for there is the three. So today is supposed to talk very much the four yoga stage Mahamudra, but you need to know a little bit. I feel that our students are not really deep in the teaching the pit instructions. You got many things, but still there. So hopefully many of you know that. So there is the three co-emergence, understand? Co-emergence, Hengye Namsum. The three co-emergence now need to know that after having that rest mind, so the three co-emergence, how to realize the what we call Dharmakaya. Understand? Mahamudra, the highest state Mahamudra is Dharmakaya. It's nothing else than Dharmakaya. Vajradhara is the Mahamudra, the highest point of the Mahamudra state. So if you really realize the Mahamudra, you become Vajradhara. That's the best. So you really achieve the Akanishta then. So that's why it's very important to notice. So first one, so first we need to know that information which I talk now. So keep that clear your mind. These three words, Tibet word I told you, Soma, Nyingma, Rangbab. Understand? Trying to keep that, it's very important. Trying to remember that. And Tilopa, 6 dharmas, Tilopa, it's Mahamudra. It's really directly touching the Mahamudra, Tilopa, these 6 words of the Dharma Tilopa, which means the really impossible, normally, right? Is to do not think, do not recall. How? Then you forget everything. That means, so do not recall and do not imagine, do not think, do not examine, do not control. So that is the Mahamudra, the emptiness, the shunyata, understand? So then your mind can rest. So this is something that really think carefully. So now we have to think how to become Mahamudra realization, because otherwise no yogi, yogini. So after that yogi stage, then we call yogi, yogini.
那这一部分的主本又几乎又重新讲了一次，就是第68的6法。那在他这个第68 6法是非常重要，也是恒河大手印的这个精要所在。我们刚刚讲到说，我们有3种心，那我们要具足这种3种心，才可能来修持大手印。第一个就是要保持一个清明的这个心 soma， 第二个就是一个本初心，无始以来之心。第三个就是Nyingma， 那第3个就是 Rangbab， 就是不造作的心。所以基本上我们要做的呢，就是安住在当下，不去思忆过去，不去期待未来，当下一种不造作、不控制、不检视的这种非常清明、非常自由的本初心。 因为如一般凡夫来讲呢，现代人就是太多的造作，在身体上的行动做太多，在我们的语言方面讲太多话，做太多事，这样子的话往往会容易让我们失去这种本初无念的这种心，因为我们的念头就是我们中国人常讲心猿意马，心就像一个猿猴一样，非常容易去攀援，所以呢，所以我们如果说我们在这个时间修行的过程当中呢，如果说安住在这种原则的条件之下，我们自然可以减少我们的身跟语的造作。那不管是说我们持咒啊、念诵祈请文这些造作呢，有的时候反而会妨碍我们修持大手印。所以我们修持大手印的条件一个很重要，就是安住在当下清明觉知的心。这个心是本初心，就是安住在我们心的本性，安住在我们心性的状态之中。所以第68的大手印的6法呢，它第6个字就是 rest 就是安息就是安住。安住在这个宁静祥和的状态之中，多么的美啊！就是不用做任何的事，你就是安住在那里，休息在那里就可以了。所以在这个时候呢，就是一直凡夫一直在这个步骤之前都是一种非常躁动不安的这个心，所以第68就告诫我们要做的最后就是放下这种躁作不安的心，安住在一种祥和宁静的个本然状态当中。那我知道我今天本来是要讲大手印四瑜伽的这个阶段的，但是我想这些前面的这些前提也是很重要的，所以如果说我们能够时时刻刻保持并且安住在这个我们具生本来之心的话，那我们就了知如何的修行跟证得大手印，这个就是可以证得法身，这是多么美妙的事啊！如果我们今天能够证得大手印的话，那我们等于是回归到金刚总持的果位，安住在奥明净土当中。所以我请各位能够记住这3个字 Soma Numa Ramba 这个，并且记住第68的6法，再重复一次。刚刚主本所讲的就是这6个字是第一个，不要去追忆过去；第2个是不要去期待或想象未来；第3个不要做二元对立的这种思维；第4个不要去检视；第5个不要去控制；那第6个就是安住，就是休息。那所以这6个我们来去思维，就是当我们做这些的时候，去追忆、去期待、去思维、去检视、去控制，这些都是凡夫二元心的。那当我们处在二元的这个境界当中，自然就不能够回归到无二本初的大手印的心所以我们最后要做的就是安住 rest， 就是安住在宁静祥和的状态之中。以上是翻译的补充，我们等一下越南翻译。
Thầy lặp lại là 3 cái loại tâm: Soma, Nhuma, Dhamma. Soma là cái tâm mới mẻ, tỉnh thức. Cái Nhuma là ở cái tâm bình thường tâm, ở cái tâm sẵn có của mình. Và cái Dhamma là cái tâm không theo dệt, không theo dệt. Và phải nhớ rằng là cái trạng thái tâm không hồi tưởng, không tưởng tượng, không nghĩ ngợi, không quan sát, không điều khiển tâm, đó chính là cái trạng thái của cái tâm đại thủ ấn. Đó cũng chính là cái Sanyutta, là cái tâm không, cái tánh không, để trở thành một cái hành
这边
giả.
补充一下，中文的第6法是不存、不思、不分析、不修、不想，自然住。
So then you see the 3 co-emergence. You heard that hopefully the detailed teachings. The first one is the co-emergence of the mind. The co-emergence of the mind as dharmakaya. Understand? So that means first you need to know that how looks like your mind. So there is the meditation to meditate and search in your mind. The mind first, where exists in your mind, how situated our mind, how many minds do we have, and right? And then the mind is outside of the body, inside of the body, and so etc. Mahamudra Dharma text has that. So slowly, you need to realize the mind, the lentic nature means the co-emergence of the mind. It doesn't mean somewhere come, somewhere to go, and sometimes to stay. So you will realize that mind is the, as we talked before, beginningless, endless, and by endless, it has nothing to grab, nothing to hold, nothing to live, nothing to put more, nothing to purify it. So which is called the mind nature is the clear of light. Understand? So Buddha said. So once you understand the nature of the mind is the luminosity, which to luminosity all the darkness, everything, once you realize that. If you realize that, it will remove all the obscurations and darkness of the samsara. If you do not realize, it will obscure to understand, to realization of the emptiness. So it is the key point. So that way, the mind nature, the nature of the mind we call sometimes, right? So it's the luminosity. So we need to know that. We're just not saying that. Lama said that, but Lama saying is not enough. Text has that road. It's not enough. We have to meditate until that your real depth from the mind is the clear light we call the luminosity mind, the nature of the mind. So that once you realize, once you have this experience, that's called the emergence of the mind as Dharmakaya. So there's no better than to understand Dharmakaya, something that you don't get better than that realization of the luminosity of your mind, the clear light of the mind. Understand? So this is first that need to meditate, that train that until that you're having this realization. And that is the key point, because we do not train that. We train many other rituals, mantras, prayers, but we do not look in it. So we do not enough to watch in it and to practice that. So until now, there is no idea. We can call that the Buddha nature and the Tathagata Garva is the luminosity and clear light, pure, and we call that, but not saying not enough. So we have to practice that until that you're having certain experience, certain realization, and that is called the emergence of the mind as Dharmakaya. Once you're having that feeling, and then second thing is the emergence of the conceptual concept. The concept in the mind is the different, right? So each concept become the mind, or mind become concept. The concept was before the mind, or mind was before concept. The mind concept is nature same or not. Understand? So that is the namdok, Tibet called namdok means the conceptual. So conceptual, the emergence of the conceptual in mind, if you examining that to practice that, so somehow that you may realize that in the natural state, there is no different, the mind in concept. Understand? It is just temporarily called the conceptual obscurations, but there is nothing inherently. Somehow that you have feeling that not only by talking words, so understanding realization comes, so that calls the emergence of the conceptual of the end mind, right? So that is the rays, like light rays, sun rays, the rays of the Dharmakaya, it's called. So that's the race of Dharmakaya means the potential of Dharmakaya, potentiality of Dharmakaya is once you realize the conceptual in your nature of the mind is the innate same. Understand? So it's a co-emergent. It's not different. It was not one first, the other first. Co-emergent means it comes together. Understand? Co-emergent means it's not in cause and effect. If it is cause and effect, the mind is cause, conceptual is the effect result, then it's not co-emergent. So it in it, within that, right? So that's very complicated talk. Shantideva taught, remember, in the seed has the result already. Then we are eating shit, he said. Remember, Shantideva said, because the food you eat, the result has come out. So he said, if your food has already the result, then you're eating what he said, understand? Same way. So it is, yes. But is how can say that? So that very fertilizer, it fertilizes, and again, it comes to the result. It give you the fruit. It give you the result, and you eat that again. So it's same. The conceptual is the very important. It's your best to realize the Mahamudra is the fertilizer. You understand? It's like that. So that's why. So concept and mind, the nature. You say the nature is same. So please, this check very carefully. Take your time, really trying to understand. And that is the second co-emergence of the conceptual and mind. And that is called the race of the Dharmakaya, which means that the potential of Dharmakaya, not the quality, the potentiality of the Dharmakaya. Chugu Yiwo, what means the race. So that's understand. So if you know that, so then you understand how to become yogi and yogini. The 4 yoga stage means that you already become the yogi and yogini, right? So before becoming the 4 yoga stage, the first one is the how to call the single pointed mind or single mind. That is the single intention mind. Before that, so we need to have the understanding of the co-emerging. Lingye, the Tibet called Lingye, understand? So the first Lingye was the co-emergence of the mind. Second is co-emergence of the conceptual. So that would be very important meditation. We will not train that. We do not become the Mahamudra realization. So we don't train problems. You do, I know you do mantra, you do Mahakala, you do that, you do morning Guru Yoga, but you don't do Mahamudra enough, really honestly. So at least if you do that, you can feel the completely different. So that's why you don't need to control. That Tilopa said, don't control. Don't need to control. It's quality. It's a race. It's potential. Isn't that? How can control? How can give up? So he said, don't give up. Don't control. Means you need. It's necessary. So that's why it's important. So second, the first is mind, second is conceptual.
那接下来就讲到我们要了知的第3个共具生的这个心。那我们知道，我们常常在禅修的时候，我们要去检视我们有多少的心是一是多，是在外在内在中等等。这个补充一下，这个就有点像楞严经的7处真心。那我们这个心是何去何从？我们要安住在哪里呢？这样检视之后，我们就知道它是无始无终的，它是不可让我们执持的，那也不可以让我们依靠的，那它也没有地方可以这个指出来，就是这一个，它本身也是它代表了我们本初非常清 清明清净的这种净光，这种觉知。所以我们要知道，我们的心性就可以讲说是等于我们的明性，我们的清明的，我们的心的本性。所以我们要做的就是把这些障碍、这些染污把它去除掉。我们远离这种轮回的这种黑暗面，我们就能够了证空性。那这种法教呢，光是听上师讲是不够的，你光是看经典文字也是不够的，我们必须要亲自透过禅修，一直到我们内心中真正的升起这种光明。那我们要知道，能够证到这种具身的这个心呢，即是法身，即是净光。所以我们要闻思之后，还要再修，要透过禅修才能够得证。所以我们平常呢，我们学习很多的仪轨啊，要怎么样修法呀，要怎么样持咒呢，这都是非常好的。可是我们分配在了悟本心的这个时间的这个修持却是不够的，却没有怎么修持大手印。所以我们要知道，我们的众生皆具的这种佛性呢，如来藏呢，它是一个明性的，是净光的。那我们光有这个概念上的理智上的理解是不够的，必须要透过禅师闻思修，要透过这3个阶段，特别是修持的部分，我们才能够真正体验，才能够证入到这个大手印的境界，这个就是法身。那第2个具身的心是什么？就是概念心。那概念心跟我们心性是一样的，那我们要去问哪一个在前，哪一个在后呢？那我们讲难度，这个是说具身的意思。这个刚刚不是讲说不要有概念吗？不要分辨，为什么这边又说概念心呢？那竹奔就补充说，这个就像太阳跟太阳光一样，我们看到太阳光，我们就知道它来自于太阳。所以我们知道这个概念它只是暂时存在的，因为它这是在本初字的范围之中呢，两者是无分的，不管是我们的心性或者是概念都是一样的。我们了知它只是暂时有这样子的概念心存在，它这种概念心我们去分析的是它是没有自性的，就好像太阳的光一样。所以它只是说 the potential of dharmakaya， 就是正德法身的这种可能性。所以我们要知道呢，这种概念本身也是我们心性发现出来，就像太阳光来自太阳一般。所以呢，所谓的具身呢，就是本具在其中的。那吉天菩萨就是入菩萨行论的吉天菩萨，过去曾讲说，当我们看到种子的时候，我们就看到它的果了。所以这个种子呢是有因，它本身是因，它同时也含了果在里面。所以呢，当时有时候我们吃东西的时候，我们自然会有这个果，那自然有会接下来会发生的事情。只是说我们一般来讲呢，说我们要知道，就是果这个了知这个果这个概念也是重要的。所以我们要知道，这所谓的概念，这些都是大手印的这个养料。我们修行的养料是我们种花的这种肥料一般的，它的本质是相同的，所以我们要对这一点要好好的小心的来思维，因为它是本具的，所以这个概念心跟这个本初心是一体的两面，就是像太阳跟太阳光一样，它是法身的这个光芒，所以能够循着这个，我们可以找到这个法身正的法身的这种可能性。它这不是从它并不是说法身的功德，它只是说法身的这个光芒，这个可能性。所以如果说了知这一点的话，我们就自然知道说我们如何能够成为一个瑜伽士或瑜伽女这样子一个修行人，那我们才有可能证到大手印四瑜伽的第1个阶段专一瑜 伽。如果我们连这面前提都达不到，我们就难说我们能够证得大手印四瑜伽的专一瑜伽了。因为我们要知道这些是 co-emergent 是俱生的 僧伽。那所以我们要去训练，我们如果只是训练自己来修持仪轨，而没有足够的时间来修持大手印的话，这一个是不行的，这样是不够的。那记得第六八刚刚的指引就是说不去控制。那所以我们这些对这个我们第六八的六法也要好好的来思维。
cái nhân và cái quả nó không có cái nhân và cái quả ở trong này, nó đồng thời。
那这边补充一下，在这个第六八的第六法里面呢，刚刚有法友在问，我查了一下，就是第六大手印教法一个第六法，这也是禅修中要点所在，即是不存、不思、不分析、不修、不想，自然住，保持自然。我们等一下越南翻译，我再把之前发的这些文件给各位。
Trong cái đồ ăn của mình nó đã là cái phân rồi, bởi vì từ cái phân nó ra đồ ăn, mà từ cái đồ ăn của mình nó chính là cái nguồn để mà nó fertilize, nó fertilize cái để trở thành cái đồ ăn. Thành ra cái trong cái đồ ăn của mình nó có phân. Đó, mà phân thì nó cũng lại là đồ ăn đó. Thành ra mình nói một cách nôm na như vậy mình có thể hiểu được là cái niệm của mình nó rất là quan trọng. Mình từ cái niệm của mình mới chứng ngộ được cái đại thủ ấn. Thành ra là cái niệm ở trong cái tâm của mình và cái tâm bản nguyên của mình nó chính là một, nó là một chứ nó không hai. Thành ra là chúng ta cần phải bỏ thời giờ ra nghiền ngẫm về những cái điều này để hiểu về cái đồng thời sẵn có bao gồm lẫn nhau, cái co-emergent của cái tâm của mình, để hiểu rằng là cái ánh sáng của cái pháp thân Phật, cái tiềm năng của cái pháp thân Phật và cái chính là cái niệm của cái tâm của mình. Ok. Trước khi mà đi vào cái trạng thái thứ tư của cái đại thừa ấn, cái tâm đại thừa ấn chính là cái nhất tâm, cái single pointed mind, tức là cái nhất tâm của mình, thì chúng ta cần phải hiểu những cái điều này, ba cái điều trên, để mà ta luyện tập ba cái điều trên để mà chúng ta đạt được cái đại thủ ấn. Hai cái điều trên chứ, dạ, để mà ta đạt được cái đại thủ ấn. Tức là thầy lặp lại, tức là phải nhớ rằng là không có điều khiển cái tâm của mình và đừng có bỏ cuộc. Và ta phải hiểu được là trong cái tâm của mình á, cái sự đồng thời của cái tâm á, cái đồng nhất hay là đồng thời của tâm á, chính là cái ánh tịnh quang của mình. Và cái điểm thứ hai nữa đó là cái niệm của mình chính là cái nguồn gốc, chính là cái tiềm năng của cái pháp thân Phật của mình. Yeah.
Okay, so that means the first co-emergence of the mind is the Dharmakaya. Second co-emergence of the conceptual is the Sambhogakaya. Through the Mahamudra practitioners, you need to realize the three kayas. Understand that? You all know how can we achieve the three kayas, and then we think maybe the Yidam practice of the Om, Ahom, and then the red and white and red and blue, not like that. We have to realize through our mind. We cannot rely on the syllable. We cannot rely on the forms. We cannot rely on the mantras. We have to realize through our mind, dear me. So you understand me? So that's why it's very important. So the first one is called the Dharmakaya. Second one is the rays of the Dharmakaya, means the Sambhogakaya. Understand? Sambhogakaya is the rays. Like sun is the Dharmakaya, the sun rays, which we can feel. That is the like Sambhogakaya, understand? So that's why we need to know. Now, third co-emergence is the co-emergence of the appearance, Nangwa. The appearance we train every time you hear pure perception, understand why we say that. So that is the co-emergence of the appearance in mind. You have to now meditate on that, which comes first. How to relate it that, understand? The appearance and the mind, mind first, then appearance, or mind first there's appearance, then you come your mind. And how is that? So we have to meditate on that. It's become mind, become appearance. We say that, right? It's nothing that it's a reflected mind. Dhammaru is mind, we call it that, right? We say that easy. We say everything is mind. We say that so that everything's become mind, or the mind become everything. So you need to know. So your mind become Dhammaru, or Dhammaru become your mind, for example, right? So it's everything is nothing else existent than your mind. That is every yogi said. Saraha, Tilopa, and great masters. There's nothing is than mind. Chiro, nangme tonton newa nang. So there's no thing than your mind. Chiro nangwa means outer appearance, existence, everything is nothing existent than your mind. We say that, isn't that? You heard that already. So now how is it like that? How can we realize that? How can understand that? Understand? So that caused the co-emergence of the appearance. So until you need to know, there's many examples. I told you, son in like grace, or mother in like son. Remember, mother and child, mother first and child then, or child first and mother, and whatever. And you know, like whatever you example, like egg and hen. And so this way, so we put also like incense sticks and smoke, which first when smoke finished, incense stick finished, like this appearance and mind, same with the before the conceptual, you can check that way. So then certainly you will see that it's thing within with the nature, the Nangwa Shiro, so there is nothing existent. That's why Tilopa told Naropa, having is not problem, because you can have everything, but grasping is the problem. So you think that is something exists outside inherently, solitarily, and that's the problem, because it's not, right? But if it's not, how comes? How appears that? So that is the co-emergence of the appearance, understand? So you all have this teaching, hopefully. It's very beautiful, talked by Gamboba, right? The Gambobas, the co-emergence of the Mahamudra, many of you got maybe teaching that too. The Ganga Mahamudra will not explain like that. Ganga Mahamudra just go word by word, right? But the teaching of the Gamboba, the commentary, Dharma Lord Gambobas, the Chachin Lenchik Gejor, Tibet called, the co-emergence of the Mahamudra commentary from Gamboba, that explained very well. But it's not really important with explanation. It's not relying on the word. It's not relying on that explanation. You have to realize it in a short period. Today or tomorrow, you can do that. And so that is called the, how to say, the activities of the Dharmakaya, understand? The first is the co-emergence of the mind is Dharmakaya, co-emergence of the conceptual is the rays of the Dharmakaya, the co-emergence of the appearance is the activities, you can say, manifest of the Dharmakaya. So that the Nirmanakaya is the activities, understand? So it's the manifested as form, the others not. So that way you need to know how comes the kayas, because you think the kayas comes first, the Nirmanakaya, then Sambhogakaya, then Dharmakaya. Looks, it's not like that. It's come from up to down. Dharmakaya first you need to realize. Then you can do the other two. If you do not realize Dharmakaya, you cannot do the other two. There's no way. Understand? So it's from up to down. Dharmakaya, the rays of Dharmakaya, the manifest of the Dharmakaya, and that's why we say, so the third emerge of the appearance. Nawa Lenchik Gewa. Understand? Nawa means appearance. Lenchik means Gewa means the co-emergent. So this is the, now you meditate sometimes, check that. Everything, you know, so how to overcome, how to really realize, how to understand that. That is the Mahamudra. Because I see what I see the problem is nowadays, you have got the words explanation Mahamudra. Words Mahamudra, the teacher told Mahamudra is the Ma means big. Mudra means the like sealed, understand? So the Mahamudra, and that's the Chakya Chambo. Cha means the wisdom. Gya means the sealed. Chambo means the union of the emptiness, compassion, something they explain like that is okay. But that only words. No experience. Understand? So we can, that's called the Tsingde, Tibet Tsingde. It's the explanation of the words. You can explain the words, but meaning, we have to meditate, practice, realize the meaning. So that's why do not rely on the word, rely on the meaning. The meaning of the Mahamudra, how to do is we need to do this way. Understand? So the three co-emergent, when you finish that, just meditation practice with the three kayas, then everything becomes easy. Really. Then there's the lamkir, means the sufferings, you can take part of the Mahamudra. Illness, you can take part of the Mahamudra. Obstacles, you can take part of the Mahamudra. Everything is become the equalizing the Mahamudra practice, equivalent of Mahamudra practice. So you become the Mahamudra yogi, understand? After that, you can name the Chakchenpa. Tibet called Chakchenpa means Mahamudra yogi and yogini. So now, when you're having that first reach there, then comes the Mahamudra yogi stage of the Mahamudra, which means that the one pointness Mahamudra yogi stage of the Mahamudra, Tejik Tibet called, understand? So that is the first one. So we have to achieve that. Yogi Mala Repa said, if you cannot achieve the third and fourth, the second and third and fourth, but the first one, you need to achieve that. Otherwise, we are not the Kayuba. He said that you are not the Chakchenpa. You have not followed the Tilopa's teaching. At least we need to achieve the first single, the Tejik Nanjor. Tejik Nanjor means the one pointness yogi stage. Understand? This we have to really need to achieve. That means once you become the shamatha meditation, vipassana meditation, unified shila sungchu, understand? So you don't need to have special samadhi, calm abiding meditation and analytical meditation. It is same. It becomes the unit. So unified of that. It's called shila sungchu. So that is the first yoga stage you are reached. So you don't need to do that separately. You become within one, understanding Yamche. And you don't need to have special meditation time. No, whatever the four activities of life, lying, like sleeping, sitting, going, and eating, whatever, you are in that. You do not lose your focus. Understand me? You do not lose focus one single moment. You are so in this innate. So that is called the single point, not one pointness yoga stage. It's not called single pointness. The one pointness yoga stage. One means that you are always in meditate. The state of the meditation is you never lost that. So this is the first stage of Mahamudra. There is not need to be many explanations, but there's three steps of the first one, second, and altogether is 12 yoga stage. The first one, you need to have that. At least. So that's why Milarepa said, when I eat, eating meditation. When I sit, sitting meditation. When I walk, walking meditation. When I sleep, sleep meditation. Remember? That is the first yoga stage. The one-pointness yoga stage reached. So we have to reach this in this lifetime, very necessary. So don't waste your time with many nitty-gritty things, really. And don't run everywhere, go to the everywhere. Sometimes, okay, but do not do too much. Sit back and look your mind. Become happy boy, happy girl. Become good man, good woman, good yogini, good yogi, good yogini. Really, now the time comes. Otherwise, we will have lots of other things, but we need to leave that everything behind. Whatever statue in Tanga, Vajrasattva, whatever. So it doesn't bring you. So that's why one-pointness of the stage, yogi stage, is the first one. So try that one in this lifetime to achieve. We can do that. I explained at the beginning all these categories and the three core emergences. When you're really having that feeling, so then you will be the true yogi nature. It's called the yogi like river flowing. The river lake, no, not the river, it's yogi, but yogi like river flowing, how to call stage. That's called the one-pointness stage. It's like flow the river, day and night moving, right? Never stop, never interrupt it. So you can do that. You really can do always if you think. It's become habit with you. Don't recall, right? Don't imagine, don't think, don't examine, don't control. Raise means the continue. That's the third one coming, fourth, the sixth, last one coming here. The raise of your mind with peace in that. So that is the first yoga stage of the Mahamudra. It's the one-pointness of the yoga stage of Mahamudra, single, the article, Tsechik. So Milarepa said, we call I'm yogi of the single pointness, but you often interrupt it and too much planning, too much thinking. And now that's why Tilopa said, you do not do that. So this is the first stage of the yogi, if you can do that.
好，那我们现在来做刚刚主本的翻译。
Yeah, I just want to see where I stop.
第一次听我翻译的人，你应该要知道了，除非必要，我都是等让主法先讲完，我才会翻译，不是同步翻译，除非在灌顶。所以你们要有耐心听。那所以刚刚主本讲的3个具身的具身心、具身念跟具身相。具身心即法身，具身念即报身，具身相即化身。那这一个呢是超越我们一般的表象的嗡啊吽，或者是白光、红光、蓝光这种的概念的，或者是这样子的练习的。我们要知道我们这个三身的本质是什么，如何让我们能够证得三身的。这些不是光靠持咒语或者是观想种子字就可以得到的，可以证得的。我们知道这个法身就好像太阳一样。那报身就像太阳光一样，是从太阳而来的，这个是报身。那么化身呢，就是世间万事万物法身的化现。所以呢，我们看到一切的外观外相呢，要有静观。我们要知道一切的世间相呢，一切外显都是我们心性的投射出来的心的表象。那如何要能够证得呢？我们要去思维，到底心是在相前还是相在心前呢？我们要知道，一切都是由心而来的，一切即心，心即一切。我们的种种的我们的手骨，我们用的法器啊，手骨即是心，心即是手骨。那这个就萨拉哈大师过去曾讲说，一切都是心的化现。那一切的外相，一切的外显没有办法超越如心，你自己的本心。所以呢，我们要知道如何 来证得，如何来理解这个具身相呢？我们要做的就是安住在我们的心性本然状态之中。我们要知道了知本身不是问题，而是当我们去执着我们的了知或执着我们的概念的时候，这个才是我们的问题。所以执着是问题，这种明性的了知不是问题的。那在这个就是所谓的这个具身相。在我们常听到恒河大手印，恒河大手印就是第六巴交给那罗巴一字一字的这样讲。那对于大手印的阐释来讲呢，是这个冈波巴法王冈波巴他所写的具身大手印，他就有详细的解释，所以你们有机会可以去拜读冈波巴的具身大手印，他有很好的这个解释。但是我们所谓的在学习不只是文或者是看这个文字而已，我们应该找个时间好好的来修，所以文思修三者是不可偏废的。所以我们知道所谓的具身相就是法身的事业，就是化身出来是外显的相。那我们要知道，首先我们根本上我们必须要知道如何证得法身。当我们证得法身的时候，自然就可以化现出这个报身跟化身出来了。如果我们不知道如何得到法身的话，就自然就没有办法去证得这个报身跟化身的。所以呢，如果这样能够了解呢，这个就是大手印了。我们要知道大手印的教言呢，我们要除了有这个本书本句的这个智慧及外在的这种征兆这个象征之外呢，两者还是要合一的。所以这个的大手印的字面的意思就是这样子的，就是我们把外在的征兆、内在的征兆跟本有的智慧二者合而为一，这个融合在一起，这个就是大手印 Jaja Chambo 的意思。我们应该了解大手印的意义为何。所以大手印的意义就包括了三个具身，具身心就是法身，具身念就是报身，具身相就是化身。那这个具身心就是像这个法身就像太阳一样，具身念就像太阳放出的光芒一样，具身相就是具身相就是法身的这个事业等等。那所以我们对这三者我们应该要了解。所以呢，如果说了解了大手印的意思之后呢，那我们知道我们还是要透过禅修闻思之后，还是要透过禅修才能够证得三身的。如果能够安住在大手印的境界当中呢，我们要知道一切苦即是大手印，一切病即是大手印，一切障碍即是大手印，这个是一种平等的修持。到了这个阶段，我们才能够称自己为大手印的行者，那或者是说Chajaba 就是我们是一个真正修持大手印的瑜伽士或瑜伽女这样子。再来呢，这个我们才能够进到大手印4阶段的第一个阶段，就是专一瑜伽。那弥勒日巴祖师过去曾讲，如果说我们不能够了解后面3个阶段，也就是离系瑜伽、一味瑜伽以及无修瑜伽，那这3个阶段不能了解，起码我们要证得专一瑜伽，就是第一个阶段，要不然我们就不能称自己是一个嘎举的行者。所以我们应该努力的修持，让我们能够证到第1阶段的专一瑜伽。所以不管是你修止也好，观也好，或者2个整合在一起也好，两者整合的话，两者是没有差别的，本质是相同的。当我们见到这个本质相同的专一性的时候，这个就是大手印4瑜伽的第1个阶段专一瑜伽。在这个时候，我们不需要特别的禅修的时间，而是行住坐卧时时刻刻都在大手印之中，时时刻刻都在禅修当中，时时刻刻不离大手印，时时刻刻不远离禅修。 这个就是专一瑜伽，持续在禅定、保任在传定的状态之中，这是大手印的第一个阶段。所以我们对于这第一个阶段应该了知。所以过去弥勒巴在也讲过他自己的证悟的境界，他就讲说，我吃饭的时候也在禅修，我坐在这里的时候也在禅修，我在行走的时候也在禅修，我在睡觉的时候也在禅修。他讲的就是个大手印四瑜伽的第一个阶段，专一瑜伽无时无刻不在大手印、不在禅定的状态之中。所以我们要了解这一点，而不是像现在很多人呢到处跑啊，那到处去拜师，到处去学习，这个是很杂乱的。当然你偶尔这样做也是可以，也是必要的，但是更重要的是我们要好好的往内看自己的心，这样子的话我们就是一个好的弟子，好的一个师兄，好的一个师姐。我们要知道死亡是随时会来到的，这生死是无常的。当死亡来临的那一刻，我们没有办法把我们的唐卡带走，我们也没有办法把我们的佛像带走，这些都必须要放下。唯一能够带走的是我们自己的修行。那所以呢，我们要知道是说，到达我们到这个专一瑜伽的阶段呢，这个就好像一条河流一样，时时刻刻不分日夜都在流淌。这个我们可以思维。
That is the first one. Second, third, fourth, I just tell now short, and we need to maybe do once again, other time Mahamudra more little detail, because the best Mahamudra explanation teaching is the Lord Jigten Sumkon. Until now, I'm not saying because I'm Jigong, I really haven't found better than the Jigten Sumgon's instruction and teaching, pit instruction of Lord Jigten Sumgon. And there is his teaching summarized by the Jigong Dharma Kiti. There is the non-conceptual, the Vajra song of the Mahamudra. It's called non-conceptual, the Vajra song of the Mahamudra. Tome Dorje, the Dondam Luyang, which is the non-conceptual Vajra song of the ultimate Vajra song. So non-conceptual, the ultimate Vajra song of the Mahamudra, that is Dharmakiti, which is really beautiful. That will touch your mind. That if you get that teaching, that will really you understand then. So we have to do, my experience, my feeling, we have to do that, because people until now, you really Mahamudra heard maybe quite lots, but still not very systematically, not very following the systems. So that's the problem. So that's why it needs to be explained very well. So we have to do, that's why I want to say that. So that's why today, the second yogic stage of Mahamudra, which calls the non-elaborated stage of the yogic stage of Mahamudra, which means when you're doing long-term practice, then it comes kind of the realization that having thoughts that even outer world, inner beings, appearance, and the mind is emptiness. The thinking of the emptiness is not even there, is a release from that kind of concept. Concept emptiness itself, you do not even think that. You are free from the conceptual of the thinking emptiness. It doesn't exist in it. It's just temporary. We think all this kind of even go beyond, and that caused the non-elaborated yoga stage. Then that time, what we do not have is the no expectation anymore to get enlightenment, to become Dharmakaya, to go to Pure Land, whatever. The expectation is gone. The doubt, maybe if I will fall again in samsara, maybe I will born again in the rebirth, take on the earth. This doubt is called redo. Both are just gone. You are totally non-elaborated. It's called the total. So that feeling comes, really. One day you will have that feeling comes. Everything is just peace. There is nothing need to think everything emptiness or not, existing or not. You don't have this kind of concept even. So the concept of the emptiness thinking is even gone, understand, going beyond. And therefore, that moment, there is no expectation and no doubt. The expectation to something to be better, doubt something that we become worse, it's gone. That's why it's called the total means the non-elaborated yoga stage. It has lots of things to talk next time. We will teach them slowly. I think it's better, right?
Thì thầy nói tóm lại cái
主奔就继续来补充，我们今天只可能讲到第一个阶段专一瑜伽的部分，那还有第二、第三、第四的阶段的瑜伽，大手印瑜伽4阶段。那时间不够，我们会再找时间再来细细来讲。在讲诠释大手印的时候呢，我不是因为我自己是只供噶举的弟子我这样讲，而是说我看过很多大手印的解释的书呢，吉天颂公所解释的是最好的，我目前能找到最好的。那他所讲的这个口诀教授呢，后来由直供法称来做诠释的，把它写下来的，这个是文字是非常的美的。如果你仔细去研读他这篇文章的话，它能够真正触动到你内心的深处，你一定会很感动的。那直供法称来讲这个吉天颂公的大手印解释，就是无念大手印就近金刚颂。那所以这个是非常美的，有时间我会再有机会来跟各位细讲。所以第二个阶段除了专一瑜伽之外，大手印4瑜伽的第二个阶段就是离系。所以这个时间呢，我们是长时间都在修持当中。那不管是说外相也好，外在的气世间，外在的诸显象，内在的有情众生呢，一切的显有，我们内心空性都是远离一切的，甚至连空性也是远离的。他没有这样子的期待，没有这个样的这个疑惑。我们也不会去想象，或者去问自己到底会不会堕入轮回，自己会不会在投胎受生等等，我们一切是在祥和宁静的状态之下，我们的一切的这个思维的这种概念心都空掉了。那它不是一个更好的或者是更差的一个阶段，这个二元对立的状态都已经远离了，这个就是离系瑜伽。所以刚刚主本讲到的是吉天颂公所讲述的大手印，他觉得是很好的。那来阐述吉天颂公大手印的这个上师是直供法称 Dhammakirti， 那他有写的这本书呢，就是无念大手印究竟金刚颂。
không có kỳ vọng một cái điều gì, không mong mỏi một cái gì, thì không có nghi ngờ một cái điều gì. Khi mà chúng ta còn kỳ vọng, tức là chúng ta còn mong mỏi về tương lai, và chúng ta còn nghi ngờ một cái gì là chúng ta cũng còn là khi mà chúng ta ở cái trạng thái mà không có theo dệt, không thì không có
刚刚有
kỳ
法友
vọng
在问法讯，那你们可以加这个法宝典藏的
ở trong một cái trạng thái, cái tâm
微
của mình
信
hoàn
号，
toàn
然后看朋友
ở trong
圈
cái trạng thái bình lặng, tĩnh lặng, thanh tịnh, hoàn toàn thanh tịnh. Và chúng ta lúc đó chúng ta cũng không có còn cái khái niệm mà sắc và không nữa. Chúng ta cũng không có cần phải nghĩ đến là chết rồi là mình đi về cõi nào, đi về cõi tịnh độ, hay là một cái cõi tịnh độ, hay là trở lên kiếp người hay cái gì. Những cái tư tưởng đó nó sẽ hoàn toàn biến mất. Chúng ta sẽ không còn nghĩ đến cái sắc và cái không còn mong chờ kỳ vọng là mình đi về cái cõi tịnh độ, hay là chúng ta ở cái cõi ta bà này hay cái gì hết. Mọi thứ nó sẽ là một cái tâm hoàn toàn an nghỉ, tự nhiên, trong sáng. Đó là những cái điều mà chúng ta cần phải nắm bắt được qua cái buổi giảng ngày hôm nay.
So now we need to stop. The Zoom this need to be used other teaching.
现在我们这个时间已经到了，现在我们会再找时间来继续来给予其他比较仔细的这个教授。那我也必须要跟各位来仔细来讲好如何来实际做禅修。我已经跟各位讲的这些概念了，已经有文了。那现在大家来思维，然后再来，接下来就是实修的部分。我们会找时间再来给各位来教授如何禅修。
So that's why we have to stop here, and it's also time over. I don't work over.
我们时间已经到了，那这个 Zoom 也要做其他的这个法教的传播的。那我也不想要超时工作，所以我们会再找时间来给各位。
Nguyên ngày hôm nay là những cái điều thiết yếu, căn bản, quan trọng mà mình cần phải nắm bắt. Sau đó rồi thầy sẽ chỉ cho mình cái cách thiền định như thế nào và cách tu tập như thế nào để
如果大家有什么疑问的话，可以写信到法宝典藏来。dtp2024@yahoo.com 来，你如果有些东西你没拿到的话，就可以来。那另外就是在翻译过程中，尽量不要写无关的字，因为这样会让这个翻译分心。谢谢各位。
ma je pa na ge gyaro te ba nya ba me ba con ne con de pe vara show OK，
诸圣菩提心妙法，为神起的愿生其生者，愿以不退其愿辗转更增上。谢谢各位。明天法宝典藏有在